like to welcome everybody back to another of our podcast series here. This particular podcast will be dealing with Lord of the Rings. And we're going to be dealing with the possibility in this particular series if there are going to be more Lord of the Rings / Hobbit, Middle-earth movies into the future going into 2017. Now, there's a lot of speculation out there because of the, let's say, the success of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, everyone is trying to copy the template that Marvel has laid forth, showing that you can go ahead and select various stories out of one overarching theme, a universe, so to speak, and just have injections of these various stories and topics that will basically allow you to go ahead and tell the full-blown story, because you can't get over certain topics, certain stories, certain histories in only a 2-hour movie. So seeing the success of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there is speculation out there that hopefully some type of deal can be made that would allow the Lord of the Rings universe, Middle-earth, all of the stories of Middle-earth to come to the big screen, or whether an opportunity also could present itself that maybe there'll be a television series. Either way, TV or television, there is I want to say a thirst out there for more stories from Middle-earth. Those who are familiar with the works of J.R.R. Tolkien know that there are many other stories out there in the Middle-earth universe, so to speak. There's a whole other novel called the Silmarillion, and this deals with a lot of the histories prior to what you see in the Lord of the Rings movies and what you see in The Hobbit. Many stories going back to the time of the creation of the elves, the creation of the dwarves. There's a more ferocious or evil Dark Lord before Sauron was the actual Dark Lord and the tyrant in Middle-earth. He was only the servant of the greater evil force, a force called Morgoth. And if you've seen Lord of the Rings, you may recall when the company, the Fellowship of the Ring, was in the mines of Moria, and the Balrog came up from its hiding place to attack the Fellowship. And when they was standing there all shook, and Legolas had that shook look on his face, and Boromir was like, "What type of devilry is this?" And then it was named the Balrog of Morgoth. So yes, this was a more ferocious and evil Dark Lord that Sauron was only a servant of. So you get the whole stories, all of these stories of the battles of the elves against this evil Dark Lord, and the dwarves coming into existence and things of that nature, which a lot of people don't know, that the dwarves were actually awakened before the elves. But because it was the design to have the elves be the firstborn, the dwarves were put back to sleep, and they were actually carved. The dwarves were made out of stone. That's why they're so sturdy and so firm like that. So there's a lot of stories that they can bring about. Those people who are familiar with the tale of Beren and Luthien, it is mirrored in Aragorn and Elrond's daughter, of the meeting or the merging of these two bloodlines of men and elves. But there were stories prior to Aragorn and Elrond's daughter that you can sink your teeth into. It's a lot to cover. So like I said, this is just this will be volume 1 of this particular podcast series, where we'll be exploring the various tales and stories that may potentially, we say potentially here, just speculation and theory, that if the license can be acquired by any particular movie studio or television studio, that we would have more stories of Middle-earth, more tales, more heroic tales and epic battles and things of that nature, because it's a whole world that has not been explored under the banner of Middle-earth in that history. So thanks again for listening. Like I said, this is volume 1. We'll be doing volume 2 very shortly. But like the video, subscribe to the channel. Any questions, leave them in the comments. And we're out of here. Peace.